Friends, we all need them, but keeping them and having those relationships flourish over years, and not just on Facebook, takes time. And cultivation author and life coach Shari Leid joins us this morning with some ideas on how we can do that. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you wrote a book about friendship. Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure, and it actually just started out as a personal project for me, and it kind of organically grew into a book. But I attended a girlfriend's memorial service, and everyone, well, so many people had a chance to stand up and say all these great things about her, but I saw that they weren't saying them obviously to her. And that's when I decided to make a difference in my life, and I chose to sit down with 50 women in my life over the course of a year to tell them what I've learned from them and what they mean in my life.
Wow, 50 friends. That's a lot of people.
It took a lot of time.
I bet it did. So tell me though, why is it so important though to have, 50 girlfriends or 50 friends and they be a diverse group of people?
Well, I'm fortunate because I actually grew up in the Seattle area in a zip code that has been known to be one of the most diverse zip codes in the U.S. So that was an easy step for me to have all these different friends in my life. But diversity could come in different forms, education levels, age differences, economic levels, and you realize when you meet with all these different people and you have these diverse friendships, you not only gain so much from their individual experiences, you actually realize how similar we all are.
So we want to encourage people to maybe do this sort of challenge, the 50-50 challenge. So tell me a little bit, walk us through how we might be able to accomplish that.
Sure. Well, I encourage people in the book, I encourage people to take these 5 steps for the challenge. And this has kind of changed with the pandemic. And so this past year during the pandemic, I actually did this via Zoom. And I encourage people to do this either via Zoom or in person, but set a date, set an intention. It doesn't have to be with 50 people. It could be with 5 people or 10 or whatever is doable, but within a certain set of time. Sit down with them, tell them what they mean, what you've learned from them, with the idea that everyone we've met is both our teacher and our student, and listen to them and ask questions. And the biggest part for me was the reflection piece. Somehow memorialize that meeting, whether it's a journal note or a photo taken, because once you start to see all the people that have come into your life, it's really hard not to live in gratitude.
Yeah, I can imagine that sense of, when you're done with these conversations. Yeah, how does that make you feel, and how does that help make us better people and better friends?
Yeah, it was surprising how much it affected me, actually, in talking to my girlfriends, even long-term girlfriends, how much I learned from them from these conversations, because we talk to our friends, but we never talk about our friendships. And during this pandemic, if anything, these connections have really helped to kind of ride out the storm. I have my mom's turning 92 this year, and she has a set of, they called themselves the 7-Ups growing up. There were 7 girls growing up together. Now there's 4 of them left. They all are in different retirement homes, but during the pandemic, they spoke to each other every night on the telephone. And it just hit home for me how important it is to really deepen our friendship so that we can ride out these more difficult times.
Wow, that's really incredible to think about that. And as you said, it has been really challenging during this pandemic, but these friendships, as you said, are what can help get us through it.
Absolutely, and it takes some effort, especially when we get used to staying at home a little bit and a little relaxed. It does take effort. That's why I encourage people to really challenge themselves, set a goal, whether it be meeting with one person once a month or 5 people in a month, whatever it is. But set a goal and force yourself to do it. Force yourself to have these conversations before, really before it's too late.
Yeah, as you said, you went to this beautiful memorial service, and you said we got to act now, right? We have to act now and tell people how we feel and what we think, and cherish those relationships. Mm-hmm. Shari, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.